Afternoon. This is Nita and Miss Panda with the Timepiece Garden. Yeah, she's like, whatever, Mom, you're not talking to me. All right, what are we doing today? We are husking black walnuts. So again, just husking, not actually cracking. Black walnut is really hard. A TV tray is never going to be strong enough to crack a black walnut. So what you do is you take your fruit, what I use is the claw portion of the hammer. And you can kind of see I just kind of go around the side there, split it, and you can see that's the walnut itself right there in the center. This one here is mostly shelled, and then this one here you can see really well is completely shelled. You can see his little crater lines and so on down the line. Now from here, I'll end up washing him, and I'll show that in a different video. And the washing is to just get all the other stuff off so they don't mold onto the shell. And once you get them to this point, they can store for up to 2 years. It's not what I'm going to do, but again, I'll take you through that portion as I get to that portion. Right now, we're just getting the fruit off so it doesn't rot and end up rotting the nut. So I've got, first 2 buckets in the house. I got a bag here for the waste, and I'll just go through and kind of crack them down till I get to just the actual nut type thing. Now saying that, I use Playtex gloves because you can already see where you see this darkness on there. That's where it stains. The fruit's got a stain in it like that. It'll stain your skin. It'll stain your clothes. So I got an old pair of black sweats on. Hi, Panda Bear. What you doing, girlfriend? I got an old black t-shirt on. I got this is a little cloth rug that I use when I paint. So when I drop my paintbrush, because it happens, I don't get paint on the carpet. It's down on the floor, so I don't get black walnut on the carpet. No stains anywhere. Now Panda's really curious about what I'm doing, and I always find it amazing. To me, she is amazingly smart. The tannins that are in the fruit that will stain your skin black are actually toxic to dogs. Very toxic to horses, but can be very toxic to dogs too. Hi, girlfriend. What you doing? What you Mama's best friend? So now she's come over here and she has smelled the nuts several times, and it doesn't want to play with them. Hi, girlfriend wants to give Mama kisses. I know, and tell Mama secrets. But she doesn't want to play with them. She doesn't want to eat them. She's just very interested in what I'm doing, because that's what she does. She likes to see if she can be Mama's helper. There's just nothing she can help me with on this one. Nothing you can help Mama with. All right, well, I will talk to you in a few. And yeah, she's bored. She's like, come on, Mom. It's raining outside, so, it's a good job for me, not a good job for her. All right, we'll talk to you later. So, 2 blue buckets equal a trash can, kind of full of husky stuff, and only about a half a bucket of actual shells. And why I'm showing that is the next part is to go ahead and get the fruit off that's clinging to the actual shells. And there's lots of different ways to do it, but the easiest one, if you're just doing this in your house on a rainy day, is put some cold water in here. I'll put the gloves back on in a minute. Again, you can see they're heavily stained. But you want to go ahead and fill the bucket up with some water, and then you're going to swish them around for about 2 or 3 minutes, and the nuts rubbing on each other will actually take off the rest of the fruit portion of it. And one of the other reasons why you do this is if you fill it with water and any of the nuts start to float, they're bad nuts. It means they're hollow or they're rotten, that they're not as good as they should be. So give me a second. I'm going to put a glove on. Hang on. Alrighty, gloves on, and just kind of, work them around, agitate them against each other. And what that does is that gets the rest of the, that little bit of fruit that's still hanging on them. You can see it kind of, pulling off right there. It just gets it off, and that way the nuts can air out and dry. So I'm going to do this for a couple of minutes, put the other glove on, and then, yeah. we'll just kind of go from there. But you can see there's a, that's a good nut. You can see that the nice coloring on it. If you look right, you can see where the seam is right there. It's going to be important when we go to crack them. All right, so let me get busy, and I'll talk to you later. All right, this will be the last of the process for today. And what it is the washed off nuts. You can see them are sitting here in a tray. Got some newspaper down because they're still a little, not newspaper, but packing paper, just because they're still a little damp. And this way they can dry. Now you can see like that nut is really clean, really nicely colored. You got a nut over here that's, not excessively clean. Part of it is, part of it's not. It's okay. What you're trying to do is to stop the fruit rotting phase from making the nuts go bad. So you don't have to get, 100% of the fruit off. You don't have to take a scrub brush to them or anything like that. But you do want to get it off and then get it washed off, and then you want them to air dry. Now, if it was a sunny day outside, this would be on side, probably on the driveway, panned outside, making sure I don't have any squirrels trying to get at the nuts. Yeah, but we don't. Now, having said that, this is the, as I have screens in my sinks, but this is the leftover stuff that has washed off. Does that make sense? So yes, I washed, and you can see where I've still got stuff in the bucket. But this is where we're getting to, and I'll go empty this bucket and fill one again and continue to peel nuts. I'll be peeling nuts all day just because it's going to be icky, nasty, and rainy all day. What do? You sit around a nice warm house, little fireplace going, and you peel some fruit. All right, this will probably be the last What I video because I won't crack shells today. That's an outside thing, not an inside thing. So with that, I will talk to y'all later. Have a great day. All right, this is one of those quickie videos. Sorry, I'm going to adjust my hands here really quick. When I was doing all of the picking and harvesting, I would talk about how to, don't get ones that have too much rot, or that have openings in them, because you get bugs in it. And if you look at that, it makes sense. It's like, oh, worms. Not really. What it is, there's a fruit fly here. And if you know anything about flies, all flies' babies are considered maggots. So those are fruit maggots. That's right, from a fruit fly that are in this. Now, in my world, what that means, and it doesn't matter if they got in there a day ago or 7 days ago, is I won't even harvest this any farther. Does that make sense? I won't go deeper and see if the nut is still good, because that means the fruit's been rotten long enough just to even get the flies in there. So it's just, yeah, you can see where I, peeled it, see the critters in it, and it goes in the trash. And it'll get disposed of outside as is. That's just one of those, I won't even get to the point of checking the nut. Maybe if I was starving, then you'd go through and see if the nut was still good, if they were just in the fruit on the outside of the nut. But I'm not starving, so they can have it. I don't need it. All right, let me get back to work. Talk to you later.